Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do some rolling. I'm going to try to do various different takeoffs from each position, each movement. I'm going to talk to you while we're doing it. At times, too, I'm going to purposely elongate my moves to try to explain to you the kinds of things you want to look for when you're doing your eskrima or your Arnis. Remember, the tapes, most of the tapes that I like doing are not necessarily just to set up to teach you a technique, but to teach you a feeling and a concept of movement so that you can better yourself as you practice. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take basic rolling, coming across, we're working a rooftop, various different blocks that you see in your rolling pattern. There's a 7, and then you want to learn to change that pattern where you're going. You want to learn when you're working with your partner or whoever you're working with to learn to feel the power that's coming in the stick and vary your power with your striking. So here I might come across in different positions. I want to work him to get him going wide, long, shorten up my movement, which increases the speed. The other thing too, as you work almost like a rhythm. Sometimes if you're throwing a 7, use the arm, which forces the opponent to react differently. Sometimes use the wrist, which again changes the speed. Changing your speed or your rhythm when you're moving too takes your opponent's timing off. Here's a 4. Sometimes going low and high to distract the eyes is also important. There's a 6, a 7. Work your moves, work your patterns in different ways. Also then work distance. Confuse the opponent. And as time goes on, what will take place, you're going to throw your opponent off. You're going to be able to move up, down, around, across. Now this time I'm going to interject the left hand a lot more. Again, he's used to a stick and hand. Once in a while, take your hand and block twice where the stick is there. If you throw the stick, that confuses his eyes and his timing. Learn to use both. Learn to change your patterns, move high, low, use your feet. Sometimes with a rooftop, we're blocking the inside, block the rooftop to the outside. Keep changing your moves. Also, there's another thing, a lot of practitioners argue almost over the way they want to hold a weapon. Some believe with the bottom of the stick extended, some here, which is better. If an opponent prefers this and doesn't acknowledge this, fight him this way. If he acknowledges this and not this, fight him this way. Every counter, there's a counter. No matter what somebody does, he can be defeated. There is no one proper way to hold a weapon, as long as the weapon is being utilized properly in combat with the situation with the opponent. Someone has a prejudice pertaining to the way that they're going to hold a weapon, do the opposite. Distorts them. Then what they do is they concentrate on their prejudice. They're easily defeated. So when a man strikes, work different shifting. Also, here I'm using the tip of the stick to hit. If I bring in a little bit with the stick, I create a whole different effect with this man. So if I have the tip of the stick I'm moving, I don't know if you can see this on tape, but here he's getting hit with probably the last third of the weapon. But if I push the arm forward just slightly, I'm going to create a reaction here in his arm. That's going to create a different reaction with the body. That's going to leave him open to different sides. Remember this too, every practitioner with that prejudice will bring it into combat. Those are the ones you're going to be able to defeat. So what it really takes is just mainly an open mind. Check the left hand. Make sure that you're aware as you're practicing what the left hand is doing. Once in a while, if you can, with your left hand, touch the man as he's being occupied with his stick. You can touch his shoulder, and you can touch him or move it in different body positions. You see what I'm doing with the left hand. So this block with the left is also giving you an opening to where you can strike and hit and counter. This also, of course, because I extended it, it means that he can counter me. That's why you shift and you move more than once. Okay? Do this a little bit more. We're going to take this slow. This time I'm going to play distance a little bit. Once in a while you strike with this part of the weapon. That'll have a tendency to throw your opponent off. Now you can work like a mano, so you can play him distance. Remember the sensitivity. Every action is a reaction. Somebody touches you, they touch you hard, they get another reaction if you touch them soft. You strike them fast, you get a different reaction if you strike them slow. So when you're rolling two, change that. Establish your pattern. Remember the difference between an arm movement and a wrist movement. Arm movement, wrist movement. That's the speed change. Weight, then throwing a weight, changes distance again with someone. Now you have a whole different effect. This concludes the tape. I hope you enjoyed the tape. And I hope you practice harder to practice, harder to practice. Thank you very much.